Hello, hello, and welcome to my screenshot tutorial. So, first things first, so I want you to figure out where your screenshots are going to go. Because what's the point of making screenshots if you don't know where they are? So anyway, so you go to System, and System Configuration, and under the Other settings, you will see the screenshot folder location. So if you go under change folder, what you can do is highlight everything, go to Control C, or hit Control C on your keyboard if you have a keyboard. I don't know how it's gonna work out if you have a PlayStation 4, so my condolences. But yeah, so hit Control C to make a copy of that path, and then simply just go to your file explorer, and then where it says like this PC or something like that on the top in the address bar, just hit Control V, and there is your path for your screenshots. So next thing, so by default it's under PNG. Now you can keep it there, but I like to keep a JPEG just because if you're scrounging for space, JPEG will get the job done. But if you prefer to have it in a higher quality, because if you have like something like Photoshop or what's that other one called that I used to use, Sketchbook, yeah, um, yeah, and any of the picture altering software and all that stuff, you can use PNG for that if you want to do like some high-end quality stuff. But anyway, I digress. um, so now you know the path of your screenshot. Um, so the next thing on the list of things to do. So what you want to do is find a good location. Then, yeah. So like right here is fine, just cause lightning. So awesome. But anyway, so I'm gonna have that as my location. Oh, I kind of like this random ass tower. I don't even know what this is. But anyway, so let's say I'm looking for a specific pose before I go into group pose. Let's just do something like that. Yeah, like that. So after you got your pose and the direction that you want your character to be facing, that's another important thing. Go to group pose, right? And this will be where most of the magic will happen. So what happens here is it'll freeze everything in place for the most part. And as you can see, my character is kind of looking off in a weird direction. That's because he's once you get into this mode, all of the characters that can change direction, they will all look at the camera, which is kind of creepy. But yeah, so what he's trying to do is look at the camera. But what you want to, if let's say you want him to be facing in the direction that he was facing originally before you went into group pose, you hit triangle on your controller and he will be facing forward, right? And if you zoom in, see that he's looking over there. But let's say I don't want him looking forward or in the direction I'm like, when I got into group pose, let's say I want him to look up. So you move the camera up right here. Let's say I want him looking at that tower, let's say. This is where I have to eyeball it. So right here. Alright. So, now that I got the right angle that I want him to be looking at, so if you hit triangle again, he's going to be looking straight at the camera. So if you look here, he is looking at the tower, hopefully. No, he's looking slightly left. um, let's do this. Right over... Ooh. Right. Alright, let's just call that close enough. Alright. So, if you don't know how yet, hold L1 and mess around with your right stick, and that's how you zoom in and out. And then, obviously, left stick is to, you know, move the camera around like that. Okay, so, let's say, well, I wouldn't go into angles just yet, just because this next part, it's going to mess around with your angles. So you hit square, or box, tomato, tomato. It'll bring up the group pose settings, right? Where we want to go to right now is lighting. The reason why you want to hit lighting first is because once you hit one of these buttons, it sets the light where the camera was when you hit that button. So see where it gets a little complicated with angles, because I just don't want to be messing around with this stuff yet until I get the lighting just right. If I'm not messing around with lighting and this is just good enough, then you can jump right in. But for the effect I'm going for, I want to do something like, let's say, more so over here. Call that right there. Alright, oh yeah, so the other thing. The type will mess around with the intensity of the light. So I hit 1, so it's going to be like a spotlight right over here. And then as you hit type 2, it gets bigger and bigger. And ultimately just pretty much lighting everything in the background. So casting kind of a casting light, right? And that's the effect that I'm going for. So, and the cool thing about with these sliders, yep, changes color. Ooh, go big. So let's say I want the light to match the color of the lightning. Bring that up. Boom. Good thing there's soothing music. Need more blue. Alright. Left red. That's green. So blue. Alright, let's call it that. 7. Boom. Okay, now that I got the lighting I want, move right into camera angles. Okay, so let's go with something like that. Right? Okay. So, next thing I want on is the depth of field. So, I don't know if you can see. Let's bring this all the way down to 0. Alright, so, as you can see, the background, as I mess around with the slider, gets blurrier or sharper. For the left I go, it goes blurrier, and then to the right, sharper. Right, so, let's see where I want to put it. Let's put it right about an 8? Call it 8. No, 6. 6, yeah. Alright. So now that I got my depth of field the way I want it, so next thing I want to turn on is the manual focus. As you can see, at 0, everything is blurry. And just like on a camera, when you focus, the lens on a camera, this is pretty much what you're messing with. Alright, so the further up I go, okay, as you can see, my character is sharp, background is blurry, but maybe that's not the effect that I want, so I can slide it even further to bring the background sharper and my character blurry, making maybe the background my focus and all that. But let's do somewhere about here. Right? Right. Okay, next thing. So, screen effect. Let's say something like ooh. Something like that, maybe? Oh yeah, if you want particle effects, like, ooh, the sky is so shiny. Do that. And then, if there were any sakura anywhere nearby, you can do that. But it's corny, because there's nothing here. Let's go with Brilliant 2. And then, obviously, if I want to mess with any of the colors for whatever effect I'm going for, I can do that as well, but I don't think I need to. Ooh. Okay. Strengthened effects. Okay, call it that. Right. So here you have your status effects. I don't even know if I want to mess with that, but you can have them freeze if you would like. Petrify. Let's say maybe like that long ass tower is making me feel a certain kind of way. So there's that. But I don't want to. And then if you want to add any frames, here they are. Oh yeah, so, thing about frames though, so I have, let's say, this frame right here. If, for whatever reason, I decide to change the camera position, so does the frame. So, does the size of the frame change? Yeah. So, obviously that's not what I want to do. But the weird thing is, like, the frame doesn't change if I mess around with the angle or the rotation. But anyway, that's not what I want to do. I'll just keep it there. And then let's say I want my character to be walking. There's that. And drat, he dropped the pose I wanted. But that's okay, because now I can change the pose as I see fit. So let's make him angry at the tower. No, make him go ho. Alright, let's have him freeze right here. Now, in order to do that, simply just hit R2. The thing with R2 though is it only freezes your target. So let's say there's another character, another player near me when I hit the group pose. And I want my character to freeze and then the other character to keep moving. I can do that by hitting R2. And then, like, you know, wait for my friend's pose to go through and then have them freeze. I click on them, hit R2. But if I want to have everybody freeze and just hit L2. But that is pretty much it. That's my pose. Or that's my picture. And then the last thing for me to do is to actually take it. Call that good. Right, good. That was my focus. Alright. So by default, the screenshot button is the print screen button on your keyboard. But if you don't have a print screen button on your keyboard for whatever reason, you know, just simply go into the key, the configurations for your keys and all that stuff, and look for the print screen button, and then just hit it. Boom. But if you're like me and have the little sound effect things on the side of your screen like that, you can turn it off by hitting scroll lock. Right? It pretty much just gets rid of the HUD. So let's say I want to have that picture. Right? And then I exit group pose. And we're good. So if you hit scroll lock while you're in the, you know, out here, boom. So if you want to, like, you know, just take a quick screenshot, just hit scroll lock, snap, turn it back on. And that's pretty much my tutorial. Hope you enjoyed. Now go out there, kick names and take ass. I will catch you around.